Hey everyone, it's your sick friend Phil here from Ashland Leather, and it seems like I've been patient zero for the workshop here at Ashland, and I've got, I think half the team is afflicted with whatever cold I got going on. And as a sort of weird side effect of that, it's my sleep schedule's been off. So last night I couldn't sleep, and I don't know how I got on this particular thought process when I couldn't sleep last night, but I started thinking about the term genuine leather and how that really doesn't say anything. In fact, I think the perception is that genuine leather is what I would know as, or I would call a split, which is the piece, like if you took this piece of leather here, this is a belt strip of English tan Dublin, that's 8 to 9 ounces. If you were to thin this down and split it right down the middle, you would end up with a section underneath that does not have a grain layer, and that's the layer we call a split. Now, I was thinking about doing this video, a more detailed version of this video where I go to the tannery and show you what the splits look like. And I think those splits are what people in the world call genuine leather. But for me, I call any piece of leather, split or not, I call it genuine leather. So I would call shell cordovan genuine leather. I'd call the Dublin genuine leather. And there's all these leather terms that I think have come into the world just as marketing spin. And it really bothers me that people are using these made up terms to sell product. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you call it. The biggest vote should be your opinion. So if you like the way that this English tan Dublin looks, it's a full grain veg tan leather, that's awesome. But if you like shell cordovan, technically there is no grain on this cordovan at all. So what do you call that? It's not full grain. It doesn't even have any grain. It's just different. So I don't know why people are so into putting things in little categories, but it really bothers me. So I want to do a longer video on that. I've got plans to do that once I'm a little healthier. But enough of my rant. I'm wondering what you guys think about these different leather terms: full grain, corrected grain, top grain, genuine leather. All those terms really bother me. And if you have some specific questions, I would love to make a very detailed video on what all those terms actually mean in the a leather tannery itself. So enough of my little rant there. I'm going on to some really exciting stuff here. We have a bunch of things that are shipping out today, but first I wanted to show you some really special wallets that are now back in stock. These are our Tony the Ants in a really satisfying color 8 marbled shell, and these are probably some of my favorite marbled shells that I've ever seen. I can't be more happy with how these are turning out right now. We have a small batch of about a dozen of these, and they're all very similar to the two that you see on the table here, where you get this really satisfying range from the dark brown burgundy all the way down to a lighter tan, and just really great texture and random patterning that we're seeing on these shells right now. I'm going to be putting these up on our newsletter just to promote it a little bit, because I think these are so special. But I'm expecting these to go pretty quickly, because these color 8 marbled shells, again, they're all random, and these are some of the nicest ones I've ever seen. So if you're looking to get one of these, I don't know if I would wait too much longer. These are just absolutely perfect. So if you're looking to get one of these and you want to pick a specific wallet, I'm happy to do that for you. All you have to do is send me an email, and I can send you photos of what specific color 8 marbled Tonys we have, and I'll send you a photo. So say it was these two, I would send you a photo of each of these, and you can say, oh, I like the one on the right better because I like more of these lighter tan shades, and then you would get that exact wallet. Because I get it, it's pretty tough. All of them are unique and special. It's impossible for me to photograph one photo that will encompass the full range of color that these have. So speaking of marbled shell, this was actually a Johnny the Fox that was picked out in that exact method that I was just mentioning. We had a customer that was really interested in one of these incredible black marbled shell Johnny the Foxes. And I sent him a photo of a few, and he said he wanted one very similar to the one that is photoed or shown on the website. So I picked out a couple that I thought most closely resembled that, and he picked this one. And this is a really exceptional looking piece of black marbled. I really like that green to orange contrast in these marbled shells. All the marbled stuff right now is just so spectacular. I'm feeling like, in fact, I feel like this color 8 marbled, I feel like this might be my new favorite shell color. Even though I'm still huge on the amaretto and color 4, just the way that these are looking, I have no idea if the video and photos are going to do it justice. It is just spectacular in person. So up next here, I have another really incredible Johnny the Fox. And gosh, everything is looking so good today. I wonder if it's the sickness is getting in my head, but I'm just really into all the shells today. Just the look and the feel and the luster of this particular natural shell, Johnny the Fox, that's been personalized for DLS. It's just so nice. Really happy with how this and several other of these wallets turned out. So I have 2 different natural shell Bugs Moran here, and both of them have the reverse interior. In fact, these were the last 2 that we had available. And again, like with the shells on these, there's just something special with the shells right now. They're very rich feeling, just have a really great sort of snap to them, where they have like a firmness that snaps back to your hand, but they're also sort of pliable, and I call that the veg bite. And I just love the way that they're looking right now. Everything's so smooth and soft and nice and round. And then the reverse interior on this one is just super special too. In fact, this other one for MC is also very nice. And again, these were the last 2. So if you're looking for one of these, I can have it made to order for you, but we're currently sold out on them. So here's a little bit of a shocker. This is the only Fat Herbie that has been polished up to send out today. This is a color number 8 Chrome Excel Fat Herbie. And usually we see quite a bit more Fat Herbies because I've been trying to evangelize everybody over to using my favorite wallet style. I just think it's the best wallet for a back pocket, and that's because of these 4 card slots on the inside. Because they're not stacked on top of each other, you can load this one up with 16 cards, and it still lays flatter than most wallets in your back pocket, which is why I choose to wear it. But I also like this bill slot in the back. I just find that the size of this, and with this little tab here, it makes accessing cash just super easy. Just a great wallet. And again, I'm kind of surprised it's the only Herbie today, but there's plenty of other amazing stuff here. And maybe I shouldn't be too surprised that there's only one Herbie, because our Johnny the Fox is our best seller. And I think that's because it's just the classic wallet style. I think when people think of a wallet, or most men think of a wallet, they'll think of this design where it's got the 6 card slots on the inside, a bill slot in the back, and then ours actually put a little extra work to make the hidden slot underneath. These are really special, and I think for that reason, that's why people are picking the Johnny the Fox over most of our other styles. And this one in natural Chrome Excel is super nice. So I've been gravitating towards the English Tan Dublin, and this strip that I had out earlier, this is also English Tan Dublin, that we've been redoing some new belts on. Actually, we just finished retooling our dies for belt making. So the belts will be coming up available on the site soon. I'm taking pre-orders on them now, but I'm wearing an English Tan Dublin belt made out of this same side here. And I've just been so happy with our new belt, especially in this English Tan Dublin. We're going to be offering it in natural Chrome Excel and brown Chrome Excel as well. If you're looking to get a belt, I'd be happy to send you some photos of this new design. I think it's really cool. It's a subtle thing. The biggest difference is that the holes on the belt are more teardrop shape, which I think is cool because that's the way the holes eventually wear in, just sort of naturally. But back to this Johnny the Fox here. I'm so much of a big fan of the English Tan Dublin, just for all that natural character that it has. And then the English Tan in particular just has this incredible orangey tan. I love the depth of color on it. So the surface is a little darker, and then when you flex it, you start to see more of those orangey tan shades coming from underneath. And just a really incredible leather, really incredible color. And actually happens to be one of our best-selling color options on the Johnny the Fox. So speaking of bestsellers, there's actually another Johnny the Fox here in black Dublin, and I couldn't be happier with the Dublin, and in particular the black Dublin, because I think this is the absolute best black leather that you can find. Most black leathers are very heavily finished, so they start to look more like paint than leather, and I just love how natural this Dublin starts off. And the super cool thing about it is the more that you wear the Dublin, because it's a veg tan leather, the better this thing's gonna get. It actually gets a little brighter and shinier. develops a really nice patina. And we've been selling a lot of these. In fact, we're restocking. I think we only have 2 left right now, but we should be having a bit of a restock next week. And here's another really neat Johnny the Fox. We originally started making a color combination wallet that was black on the outside with the teal on the inside. So this is sort of the inverse of that. But what's really great about this one is this teal on the outside wears in so well that when it develops a little bit more life to it, it starts to look darker and more like a pair of denim. And it just has this really incredible depth of color. And the reason this is happening is because this leather is called Latigo, and it's a combination tanned leather with an incredible amount of veg in it. So this, even though it's a bright teal, this is a nice veg leather that will age very nicely. And I want to be careful because it's a combination tan leather, meaning it's chrome tan, but has a very large amount of veg character retanned into it. And I really like these. One of our buddies from Chicago Chrome has one of these. He's been wearing it for a few years, and the way that that thing looks is just so nice. I have to get him in here so I can take a photo and maybe a video of that wallet for you to see. And actually this morning we made another little batch of Color 8 Chrome XL Valet trays that people seem to be really gravitating towards recently. What I like about the Valet trays is not only does it keep everything in place for me, I just lose all my stuff if I don't use these, including our workshop tools here like lighters and wax and bevelers. But what's super cool about this is how sleek it looks. So it's color number 8 Chrome XL on the outside, which is a color that's very similar to the Color 8 shell. But we spent a little extra money and put a little effort in to finish the wrong side of the leather. So this is called the flesh side, also known as the suede side, or people will call it flesh out. But we put a stain coat on top of it and then fill in those fibers with a resin and then sort of iron it all down smooth. So you get this really nice finished look on both sides of it. And I just think, especially for the price, it's a really great valet tray. And honestly, like, the shell is very nice, but I think I prefer the finished look of both sides on the Chrome XL valets that we've got going. So I have a pair of key fobs here for Fiegler. And here's the other one too. I'm reworking a little bit of the website page for our key fobs. I want to make it a little bit more easily personalized. So you can do things like put your name on it, like this customer has. But I also want to experiment with the idea of putting some icons on them. So I think it would be really cool to have a key fob where you can just have an image or like an icon of a house, and then you would know that that's for your house keys, or like an image of a gate, so you know that this is the key that is for the gate, or any other icon that I can think of. Maybe it's like a lock, you know, this is the key for the lock. Because like when I bought my house, the previous owners had like 5 or 6 bags of keys for all the different locks around the house, and they just put a sticker on a Ziploc bag. But I think it would have been much more useful to have one of these fobs that just had a picture of a gate on it, and then I would know that these are the keys for the gate. So I think a lot of people might get a lot of value out of that, which is why I want to start doing that on our key fob page. But also the other thing is I found that we've changed the hardware here that I like a little bit better. I found that I like this antique copper ring a lot more than the rings that we were using before. The ones we had before were like this bright shiny chrome finish. I think they're just a little too stark and shiny. And they were also very, very firm. So it was hard to get keys on and off of it. So I'm switching out to this really nice antique copper too. So look forward to the key fob page changing up in the near future. And last up today, I know this is a small piece to end on here, but this is just a really great piece of natural shell cordovan. Along with all the other shells that I've been looking at today, just everything is coming out so nicely. And I wanted to show you this key case. This is the key case that I recommend for people that use 2 to 3 keys. And there's a post on the top here. You put the head of the keys around the post. These little caps come off, and your keys slide down, and you close it up, put it in your pocket, put your keys in your briefcase, in a bag. It's a great way to keep all your keys together so they're not jingling around and cutting into your pant pocket and all that kind of stuff. So thanks again for checking out all the stuff today. I'm so happy with all these shells. even though I'm dropping them on the table. But in particular, this Color 8 marble is so nice. Here's another great one. Gosh, I'm so happy with these marble shells right now. These are now back in stock. If you have any questions about those leather terms I was mentioning that drive me nuts, maybe deal with my rant and let me rant a little further if you'd like, about genuine leather, top grain leather, full grain leather, all these terms that don't have any relevance. I would love to expand on my ideas there. If you have any specific questions, I'd love to hear them, because I do want to make a very detailed video about each of those leather terms and where I find they come from, and then try to describe why you might like or not like either of them. But at the end of the day, it's all really just comes down to, what do you prefer? What do you like? What do you think looks good? Because if you think it looks good, then it is good. So sorry for the rant today. I'm getting off my high horse. Hopefully everybody's staying well, and I'll see you again tomorrow.